What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Great Outdoors blog. Today we're going to be putting together a tent. This tent is pretty big. It's a 12-person tent, so a little bit larger than tents I've usually put up, like when I'm going camping. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and show you guys how to do that. If you've never done it before, it's pretty simple, but we'll go through step by step. All right, so in here we've got the actual tent itself. I'm not going to put the rain fly on because it's, as you can see, it's a nice day out, so we won't need that. So we're going to skip that part. But when you're setting up a tent, you also have some stakes to make sure your tent is solid on the ground and doesn't blow away. And then you've got these poles which actually help support the tent. So the first step we're going to do is to attach the poles together, and then we're gonna roll this sucker out. All right, so we got the poles out of the bag, and these are actually really simple to put together. You can see they have like usually there's a rope, but it looks like there's almost like a chain or some sort of linkage there. So all you gotta do is put them together. You can see this piece right here is smaller than this one, so it just slides right on in. So we're gonna do that for the rest of these, and then we're gonna get our tent set up. All right, guys, so we've got all the poles connected together. So now we need to go about putting the poles through the tent and actually supporting it. So that's what we're gonna do now. So with these 4 short, skinny poles, these are gonna form kind of an X at the top of our tent, the top center. So as you can see, I already put one through, but you slide it through these black liners, and then it'll connect to this like connector piece. So that will kind of form an X at the top of our tent. And then you could see at the bottom here, we have an opening for our larger pieces to go, and those will hold the entire tent up. So let's go ahead and put these smaller ones through. Now we've joined our 2 smaller pieces up here at the top to kind of form an X here. And now what we're gonna do is put our larger pieces in these holes. Okay, now we put our main supports in, and we're starting to look more and more like a tent. So now all we have to do is put the 2 longer poles on each side, and that will help hold these ends out. And then these other 2 poles that are left over are actually for the rain fly, so we won't end up using those. All right, so you can see that our end is propped out. All you had to do here is just, again, run the pole through this little sleeve. And then the last step you're gonna do is take this pin that's attached to the tent. You see this little pin here. The bottom of the pole will actually slide into that. And then once you have that through, just go ahead and clip on the tent to the pole, and that'll hold it nice and tight. Okay, we've got the poles on both sides up, and you may be wondering, why is this falling over if the pole's in? Well, that's because we do not have the stakes in yet, which will actually help hold this thing up. So you'll see on each corner there's a little piece of fabric here, and all you have to do is pull that as far out as you can so it's nice and tight, and then you're gonna grab the bag of stakes and just stake one into the ground. Now at this point, it would be nice if you had some sort of hammer or mallet. Those are useful if the ground is pretty dry and it hasn't rained for a while, but that's not always necessary if it had just rained or if the ground is pretty soft. So we're gonna go ahead and put our stakes in the ground. I forgot to mention this, but this is good to know. So sometimes these tents will have really flimsy stakes that aren't very thick, and they're very easy to bend, like this one. So if you have those with your tent, just be careful when you're placing them in the ground, because they bend very easily, especially when the ground is hard. But if you have the choice, I would recommend getting one of these stakes. It's a lot more firm, and it's not going to bend as easy. It's even got a top here to where you can hammer them in. So I would definitely recommend investing in some nice sturdy stuff. All right, guys, so here is the final product. Didn't take me very long at all to set this up by myself. And like I said, if you were going to be staying overnight for a couple days, it would probably be a good idea to put the rain fly on just in case. But it's a really nice day out, and it'll be nice to just sit out here and look at the stars without having a rain fly in your way. So there you have it. That's how you put a tent up. It's pretty simple. Most tents are self-explanatory and you don't have to look at the instructions, but sometimes they can prove helpful as well. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next post.